tell you a little bit about what our day looks like. Here you can see what we're going to be covering. And if you want to be listening and maybe jot down a question you have as we go, and then we get to breakout rooms, you can go ahead and ask your question of your classroom teacher. So we're going to talk to you and let's get going.
Okay, we'll introduce ourselves. My name is Kristen Carey. This is my 4th year here at Cardinal Forest. I love 3rd grade because I love the huge growth that they make in reading during this year, and they end up loving chapter books and reading for content. So it's a really fun year, and I love that.
I am Mrs. Krull, and this is my 3rd year at Cardinal Forest, and I love 3rd grade sense of humor. I love the little jokes on the back of the milk cartons. I love the ones that are on their yogurts that they want to tell you 4 times because it's funnier the 3rd time. And I love the sparkle in their eye when they learn something new or they make a connection and they get excited about something. So go 3rd grade life.
I am Faith Hollinger. This is my 4th year at Cardinal Forest. And I love 3rd grade because they're curious and become more independent in their learning. I also love learning about ancient Rome and ancient Greece with the students.
Hi, I'm Anna Cooper. I'm the special education teacher that's working with 3rd grade this year. It's my 3rd year at Cardinal Forest, and I love just the conversations about anything, especially food, that 3rd graders love to have.
Ms. Sadowski, do you want to go ahead, and Ms. Fisher before we move on and introduce yourself?
Sure, I'm Chris Fisher. I'm the Advanced Academics Resource Teacher for Cardinal Forest, and I'm working very closely with 3rd grade this year to kind of embed critical thinking throughout all disciplines. So science, math, language arts, social studies. We're super excited about all that.
Oh, let me unmute Nadia.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Nadia Sadowski, and I am one of the ESOL teachers at Cardinal Forest. This year, I'm working with 3rd grade in addition to 2nd and 6th. And I am helping our English language learners develop their English language development through small group work and by collaborating with the 3rd grade team.
Look at our admin team on the left. We have Miss Felicia Drake, our principal, Mr. Keith Hirsch, our assistant principal. And take a look at the right, we have our office staff. We have Mr. Bears, the administrative assistant, Miss Campbell, our attendants, Miss Stevens, she does registrar, Miss Scaff, she's our office assistant, Miss Almeida, our clinic aide, and Miss Peter, our public health nurse.
All right, so there are a lot of very awesome people on these pages. On the left, there are a lot of specialists, including Ms. Fisher and Ms. Sadowski, who we just heard from. On the right are some of the support staff, including myself as a special education teacher, Stephanie Meckel, who is also on this call, Ms. Bastilli, who's the speech therapist, and Ms. Scribner, who is an instructional assistant.
Here is our daily schedule in 3rd grade. It's important to note that Cardinal Time happens first thing in the day at 9:15 a.m. So it's important that you drop off your child or send your child to school on time. And we'll talk more about Cardinal Time, but it's our intervention and enrichment block. So that's from 9:15 to 10. Math comes right after, and then we do have snack at 11:15 because we have lunch so late. So we have snack, and then we teach content, which is social studies and science. We have specials that includes art, music, library, PE, lunch, recess in the afternoon. We have our language arts block. It's an hour and a half, and that includes word study, reading, and writing. We have our pack up, and we end the day with a closing circle.
And speaking of attendance and being on time, it's important to let your teacher know if your student is running late or they're going to be coming in a little bit later. We worry about the kiddos when they're not here. We want to make sure that we know where they're at. And if you would like to call the attendance line, the number's at the top. It's 703-923-5252. It's easy to call and leave a message and let this for your child. The office sometimes is chaotic in the morning with kids coming and going and teachers. This way we'll know if your child is coming, and we do open those doors and say, welcome everybody at 8:55. And so bring them on in, we're here. If your child's not feeling well, or they just seem a little off and they're not themselves, it's okay to keep them home and rest, because this is a transition for a lot of us. And we'd rather you err on the day of, let's just see how you feel and kind of monitor them. So it's an okay thing. So we're excited to see them every morning. We're at our doors waiting.
All right, so this is just a reminder of materials that we really need for school. So they need to be bringing their laptops to and from school every day. Make sure that they're coming to school with a charged laptop. It just makes life a lot easier for them to already have a charged laptop coming to school. They also need their charger. They should be bringing a water bottle back and forth, since we can't be using the water fountains. And we want to keep them hydrated. So make sure that they have a clean water bottle every day. Our lunch isn't till 1:10 p.m. So if you feel like your child is going to be hungry before then, we definitely recommend packing snacks so that they can continue to focus until that time when they're able to eat lunch. Make sure if you're able to, pack extra masks. They go through several of them in a day. Sometimes they break, sometimes they get dirty. Whatever it may be, just make sure. It's always helpful to have at least one extra. And then it can be helpful to pack a beach towel so that they can sit on a towel outside during lunch or other activities.
Alrighty, so one of our a few overarching concepts that we're working on this year are generalizations of change. And with that, meaning change is everywhere. Change can be positive or negative. Change happens over time. It can happen naturally or be caused by people, and it can be perceived as orderly or random. So this is the language we're using with kids through all disciplines. It's just simply logical when kids can transfer their personal experiences of change or of relationships through multiple disciplines, so language arts, science, math, social studies, and then make those connections to the great big world out there. If you're looking at the generalizations of relationships, relationships come in different forms. Relationships form the basis of groups. Relationships can be positive or negative. And all of these generalizations can be connected to language arts, to the characters, to the science content we're studying. Relationships are interdependent. They can change over time, and they can be purposeful. So we connect to these generalizations through all content, and we bring the kids on board, and they have those discussions. They kind of throw in from their experiences. So this is kind of our overarching theme that's driving our learning this year.
Let's talk about math. In math this year, you can look on the left and you can see a breakdown of the time that we spend in math when they come in to get them thinking mathematically. We do a number talk together to build their number sense. And then we do about a 15-minute focus lesson all together on a math topic. And then they're working in guided math, meaning that they are either working in a small group with a teacher helping to meet needs, or they're working independently, or even perhaps with a partner and working on a range of different learning tasks. And then at the end of math, we are definitely reflecting on what we read as a whole class or something like that. The focus is that we are trying to build their mathematical thinking and critical thinking. So we're teaching them to think as a mathematician, which meaning that they're not just coming up with the right answer, they're able to explain how they got that answer through journaling, through talking, being able to give pictures or explanations of their strategy. Here's an example of that. So as a mathematician, I could be using pictures to show what I learned about place value. I could be using words. I could be using numbers, but I'm definitely able to talk through and give evidence of my thinking and justify the answer that I came up with. Also, we will be switching, and this year we'll be switching for math. So your child will go to the class that best fits their needs. And those classes are fluid. So they may be moving in and out of a certain teacher's class based on the needs that they have at that time. One more thing, all of the students will be using concepts from M Cubed, which is a program in which the emphasis is on critical thinking and thinking as a mathematician. So no matter which class they're in, they will be learning to think mathematically.
Hi friends, we're going to be switching to language arts, and here you can see a model of what our class would look like with a whole group mini lesson focusing on word work or a specific topic like visualization or for writing. Then we'll break into small reading groups or meaningful independent reading, where we're going to be looking for things we introduced during our whole group lesson. We're going to be reading to others, writing and writing to others, letters of learning. And we're going to be reflecting on things. Now, because of our overarching concept of change, we're also going to be reading texts and looking at different layers. So sometimes we might read a text 2 or 3 times because we're going to be looking at, how do characters and feelings change throughout a story? How does their choice influence the theme or the relationship that they build? You want to understand that when they engage with others in the classroom and talk about stories, that their discussion develops ideas and they come to have a perspective. So some examples might be to engage in inquiry, which is not just for science, but it's also for reading, to discover how people and animals make changes based on experiences and relationships. We build our conversations around texts that we're reading. We begin to pose, not this kind of pose, we begin to pose and respond to open-ended questions. We clarify and challenge each other's ideas. We could be agreeing or making a connection or saying, I respectfully disagree, and then give your side or your perspective. We're going to be analyzing literature through the concept lens of change in relationships, and we're going to identify that big idea and support ourselves with connections. So get ready, here we go.
And here is a piece of our language arts that we use. It's called Jacob's Ladder. We already started using this with the lion and the gnat, and we show the picture of the ladder to the kids, and we read the piece of literature for the week, and we start at the bottom rung, and each time we go up and we increase the rigor. So Jacob's Ladder moves from basic understanding to critical analysis of text and literature. And the units are designed to enhance reading comprehension. And here's an example that we have in student work as well.
Okay, it's LOL time. Not that kind of LOL, but letters of learning as part of our way of sharing the students' thinking and learning throughout the week. We're going to be sending home their LOL journals once a week, maybe twice a week, to share with you some highlights that they had from the week or something that's very exciting to them. We want to celebrate this learning that they have. We're building our community and developing that sense of belonging and having opportunities to communicate with each other and outside to you guys and collaborate and share with us our learning. And what we ask from you and what I am seeing a lot of is when you're writing back, you're making connections to like when you were a kid or a memory that you have from school. You guys have posed curious questions and asked your students to respond to you. I love that. And also your excitement for 3rd grade reminds me that their hearts are growing each day as well as their minds. So please keep up the writing and keep those letters coming and be excited as they are. And when they're playing the game this past weekend, some of you said, oh, let's play that game this weekend. It'll be fun. And then they came in and shared how they expanded on the game or did something different. So thank you and keep up the great work.
Okay, in science this year, we have several important units that we'll be learning about. We start out the year with an ecosystems unit where we learn the life cycle of a ladybug, but also all about ecosystems and how things are interrelated in ecosystems, which connects nicely with our concept of change. We will be doing a lot of hands-on learning out in the garden as much as possible. So you will hear all about that.
Here's a little bit about our social studies units. I love third grade because we learn about ancient civilizations, including ancient China, Mali, Egypt, Rome, and Greece. We also dig into some map skills, continents and oceans, and famous Americans, and we connect it with the concept of change, as you see at the bottom. We do a lot of cross-curricular in third grade with social studies, and we learn and read and write about the different ancient civilizations. We also do, we will explore ancient cultures using DBQ, which means document-based questions, in which students analyze primary sources to draw conclusions in a student-created summative essay. So the students are really making those connections because they're not only learning it in social studies, but they're reading and writing and exploring. And here is a little bit about Cardinal Time, which is first thing in the morning at 9:15. So it's important that your child gets to school on time because Cardinal Time is targeted instruction, small group instruction, and it could be intervention and enrichment. We're very lucky this year because we have a lot of staff members working with us to provide that intervention and enrichment. We have our special education teachers, our classroom teachers, our reading teacher, ESOL teachers to help us. And students also have enrichment activity opportunities. This quarter, we are all rotating and having our enrichment activity with art. And also important to note that we pre-assess your child at the beginning of the quarter to see where they're at and what group they would best fit in. And then these groups are fluid. We will assess them towards the end and see, did they make growth, and see these groups can change.
So now here comes the best part of the presentation. Just kidding, but it's my favorite part. So we're going to talk a little bit about Schoology. Schoology, as you probably know, has replaced Google Classroom, but it's so much better. So you should get excited because it has so many more features and you can just do so much more from it with it. So we're going to watch a short clip that Ms. Meshover created to tell you a little bit more about parent accounts, which are super critical.
Hello, are you ready to use Schoology? In order to use Schoology as a parent, you must have a Parent View account. To access this page, to log in, go to sisparent.fcps.edu. If you are unsure about your account or you forgot your password, please use these icons on the bottom to help you. Once you have your account and you're ready to sign into Schoology, please use this website link, www.lms.fcps.edu. This is the Fairfax login for Schoology. You'll know that you're logging in correctly if you see the Fairfax icon. Then, when logging in, use your Parent View login information so you can sign into your parent account. Once you are signed in, you will see that there is a course button. When you click on it, all parents are enrolled in our All Families course. Once you are inside of the course, you will see this menu of options. There are so many different resources, websites, videos, and more that you can use and explore. This is a one-stop shop for parents. Inside of the Back to School Night information button, you will see these options. This is definitely worth a look. Inside of FCPS Welcome are videos from our school board members and Dr. Brabrand. Inside of the CFES Welcome, there is a video from our administration as well as our PTA executive board. Grade level information will be updated after Back to School Night for recordings and slides. Specialists and support teachers have recorded Flipgrid videos for you to get to know them. Take a look. And inside of the FLE Parent Preview is information about family life education. Once you are ready to switch to a student account, you can drop down from your parent name and take a look at one of your students or your children. Click into theirs and you will be able to see their courses that they're enrolled in. A green check mark will be next to their name to make sure that you know which account you are viewing. If you have questions or need help, please contact your child's teacher, or you can reach out to me, Michelle Meshover, the School-Based Technology Specialist at Cardinal Forest. This is my email address and I'm happy to help you.
Awesome. So Schoology is great, but I just wanted to re-emphasize that without a parent account, you are missing on a lot of really important parent information. So it's really important for you to make sure you have access to that parent account and then use that parent account, because if you're using your student's account, which you are able to do, you're not going to be able to see all this parent information. I also want to highlight the support activities for home button. A lot of teachers have gotten together to put different resources to help your child with things that they're struggling with, whether it's reading or adding or whatever it may be. It's a really great resource that you'll only have access to with a parent account. So definitely get a parent account. We can go to the next slide. All right, so I want to just take this opportunity to actually show you Schoology. Let's see, here it is. All right, so this is Schoology. Your child's Schoology is going to look a little bit different because they are not enrolled in all of the third grade classes. But if you're looking at the parent account, your student's name is going to appear on this side. If all of your students in Fairfax County Public Schools are going to appear down here. So that's an easy way. If you wanted to check your student one's stuff, you could check that, then click on the other one. Courses is where we're going to go most often. We started the school year by putting a lot of information in the class activities. However, things have changed. Different courses have been uploaded, so we are not really using this class activities tab very much anymore, unless your child is paused or otherwise cannot be in school. We are mostly using these course specific activities. So if you wanted to check to see if they had language arts assignments, you would click on their class, click on the button that applies. And for example, we're working on personal narratives. So you can click into personal narratives and you can see that they are working on an assignment in brainstorming. So you're able to open that up and talk to them about it and work with them through that. So yeah, that's a little bit of Schoology. Let us know if you have any more questions. We'd be happy to chat. Stop share.
Okay, a little bit about home learning. If your child is absent or paused from attending school in the building, we will have asynchronous learning opportunities in Schoology. These activities can be completed during the school day, and extra assignments and homework will not be provided for family vacations or unexcused absences. So Schoology is so important. And here is a little look at why reading is so important, and just a little bit can go a long way. It is so important to get your child reading 20 minutes a day. They're reading at school, but it's important for them to read 20 minutes a day at least at home. If you take a look on the right on that picture, just an example that if you're reading just 20 minutes a day, they will hear per year 1,800,000 words, excuse me, and they will read by 6th grade for 851 hours. And if you look at the bottom, on standardized tests, they will likely score better than 90% of their peers. So again, just a little bit can go a long way. So please encourage them to read 20 minutes a night. And also 3rd grade teachers are asking you for help in having them practice fact fluency of adding and subtracting through 18 daily. We will also be sending home some brain works that for the children to work on at home. And these are short activities to expand their thinking and use critical thinking. So here is a little snapshot of what it will look like. For example, for Monday, it says, October is National Pretzel Month. Tell about a situation in which you felt like a pretzel. So take a look and keep an eye out in your Tuesday folder at the beginning of October for this. And if you have any questions, feel free to let us know.
So our whole school is responsive classroom, meaning that we emphasize that children are taking care of themselves and taking care of each other and our school environment so that we can learn at our best. And we use different practices to do that, but you'll notice especially that our students pay close attention to how we treat each other throughout the day and that we work as a team to create the right environment in our classrooms. And we set goals as for our own learning and take responsibility for reaching our goals, but we also set goals as a team, as a group and a class.
We are so excited to have Ms. Keith Haber working with us in 3rd grade this year, and focusing on student well-being is super important. Some of us are coming to school or home for a while, we're transitioning back to school, or maybe we're a little nervous with our new situation, but student well-being emotionally is a huge priority. And so we're trying to build those connections to other friends in the classroom and making relationships with teachers and friends in other classrooms. So the first few weeks of school, we worked really hard to make connections, but some of us were out for a while. And so we're having to really come back and make sure we have those built, because we are a learning community and we care about one another. So please communicate with me or Ms. Keith Haber if you notice your child's having any difficulties or is nervous about anything, because we are here to help. Arms open, air hugs. We're here.
All righty. So, Portrait of a Graduate. This is a goal of Fairfax County in a way that we nurture thinkers and grow our children in school. So it's really something that we want them to leave Fairfax County with, these attributes. Taking care of self and others goes hand in hand with Portrait of a Graduate and critical thinking. This is our year. This is our year to explore, to intentionally offer rigorous learning to all students. It's a great opportunity for us to let their interests and passions drive their learning. We as teachers and parents have our own perspectives of learning and teaching, but so do the kids. So it's our opportunity to network with those kiddos, to really take a peek at what they are bringing to the table and to connect with that. So as a communicator, we're offering opportunities for kids to communicate effectively with each other, with ourselves, through writing, through speaking, collaborate with each other, through technology, through speaking, becoming ethical and global citizens, all that great work that you folks have already done in raising these kids, we're now continuing that. And how, as a learner, are you making great choices anywhere, no matter where you are? That critical and creative thinker, we're really embedding that in all that we do across all disciplines, and really enticing those kids to become goal-directed and resilient individuals. So we're really just intentionally and just asking those kids, set those personal goals, set those school goals, try to reach them. If they're not attainable, shift them, toss out what isn't working, just becoming resilient, so that failing forward, that idea of failing forward, give it a try, give it a go, shake it up a bit, get rid of what didn't work, take what did work and move forward and try something, try again. So Portrait of a Graduate is an important piece that we're embedding in all of our learning. Hopefully you'll hear a lot about that from the kids, but feel free to talk to them about that. This graphic on the lower right, it kind of speaks to me, because that's that connection that we have with students. It's inviting them to the stage and inviting them to participate, share their learning, share their thinking, hear our perspective, share their perspective. So it's really about a community of learners, and we're all in that community.
Take a look at our FCPS grading scale. A 3 is when they're usually demonstrating concepts and skills of the standard taught. A 4 is consistently and independently demonstrating those concepts and skills. 2 is sometimes, and 1 is seldom. And we use multiple methods to assess your child and to grade your child. And quarter grades reflect student performance with standards taught in that quarter.
Okay, communication. We appreciate your email sharing things that the kids are doing over the weekend, or concerns that you have, or things we might want to note that might interfere with their day or carry over with them. So please email us and let us know. We'll get back to you within 24 to 48 hours. And if you're emailing us about something important, it's best to do it early in the morning before school, or late at night, or if it's something we need to know right now, definitely call the office if you're changing the way the kiddos go home, because we're involved all day in teaching and learning and being with our friends, and we can't check email throughout the day. So please call the office if there's a change in any way. And remember to be looking out for those LOLs, those evidences of learning, and go to that journal and write them back and share your thoughts. Definitely email is the best way. The phone will ring, but it goes straight to voicemail during the school hours. So if you need us, call us the school right away. Conference signups will be coming out soon, because we want to talk to you and share and celebrate and look at areas we can grow and things we can continue and extend. So be on the lookout for that email soon. We'll discuss a virtual conference, or if we need to meet together or over the phone, we will work anything out with you.
Don't forget that tomorrow is school picture day, and for 3rd grade, unfortunately, we have to take it in the afternoon after our recess, so we'll be a little sweaty, so we might need to cool down a little bit and get ready for our pictures. And we wanted to give you some time. I know we had a lot of information that we went over. We wanted to give you some time to ask any questions to your child's teacher. If it's like a personal question just for your child, we ask that you talk to your teacher one-on-one or send an email. So there will be a breakout group with your child teacher's name. So go ahead and join.
Ms. Hollinger, do you happen to know how we can get the recording?
Is it still recording?
No, do you happen to know how we can get the recording of the